Good morning, my friends. I haven't made a video in a little while, and I thought I just got done with the Sunday morning meditation, so I should make one while I'm thinking about it. I'm out here in the shed Zendo, as I like to call it, because my home office is being used as a guest bedroom right now. We have visitors from Australia. And so you're going to get kind of a rambly video on faith in Zen practice. It's something that's come up in the comments and things. And much like when I talked about other things, I think it's important to define faith. And how faith does and doesn't manifest in Zen practice. And some of this is going to be a kind of school doctrinal thing, and some of it will be my personal take on it. So if we understand faith as kind of belief without verification, blind faith, this is the faith that most Westerners are going to be most familiar with, because it is steeped in the Abrahamic traditions, right? Monotheistic traditions, Judaism, Islam, Christianity tend to have faith in faith in something that you can't see or touch. And when I say faith without verification, it just means without proof. And I would say that many Christians and Jewish people and Muslims would say that they have a kind of proof in their belief or in their feelings. It's still, that kind of faith is definitely a faith in another. And for me, that type of faith plays no part in my Zen practice. I'm not interested in that kind of faith. The thing that drew me to Zen practice is the essentially engagement with the practice. It's kind of verification yourself, right? I sometimes make the tongue-in-cheek comment that Buddhism and Zen Buddhism is the scientific method of spiritual inquiry. You might have a hypothesis, the Buddhist teachings are wholesome and helpful, and then you sit down and you test them out. And if you find them to be wholesome and helpful, then good. And if you find that they don't, you should move on. And so faith, belief in another, blind faith, does not really play a part in Zen Buddhism, and certainly it does not play a part for me. There's another kind of faith that we might say more is like trust. Trust might be a less loaded word to use. And so is there trust in the Buddha and the teacher and the teachings? And for me, the answer, of course, is yes. There is great trust in the teachings. If I did not trust that the teachings were wholesome and helpful, I would not be engaged in this life path. And it's still trust with verifications. Like, I trust that the teachings are true and helpful and wholesome, and then I test them out. So there's still no like blind trust. But it's much like when you develop a relationship with a person. You might meet a person and they kind of seem trustworthy and kind and nice, but it would be kind of silly to trust them with the PIN number to your ATM card, or the code to your bank account, or the keys to your car. You would have to develop a relationship with that person, often a very deep relationship over time and experiences, before you extended that kind of trust with a person. And that kind of trust is what we develop with Buddhist practice. You spend time and effort and often trials and tribulations as you go through life. And sometimes even the teachings themselves are challenging. But you keep forging this relationship with Zen Buddhism and the teachings, and that's how you develop this trust. And one thing that is said is that, one of my favorite sayings is that to be a good Zen student, you have to have great faith and great doubt. And faith, trust, right? We could say great trust and great doubt. And doubt is not the like corrosive, cynical, I don't trust anybody, but it's the ability and willingness to question, to apply your critical mind. That's what we mean by doubt. So it's like the scientific kind of doubt. Like, I am not going to just take things on faith, on trust. I'm going to try them out. You cannot turn your critical mind off. And when that happens, people can kind of go sideways on the teachings, or that's when you see teachers kind of acting unethically and their students make excuses for them or enable them. They're like, well, they're the teacher, so everything they must do is like perfect, right? Or wholesome. And so even if they're sleeping with students or abusing intoxicants or embezzling money, right? People like turn their critical thinking brains off. And so that's not good. And so when we talk about great trust and great doubt, we're talking about critical thinking doubt, not the not that corrosive, paranoid, I don't trust anything, but that idea that we're going to have both. So when we talk about faith in Zen Buddhism, it is not really the blind faith in the other. It's not belief, right? I think that's probably the best way to say it. Faith in Zen Buddhism is not belief. It's more like trust, but it's never trust without critical thought. That's really, really important. So whether you're talking about the teachings or a particular Buddhist teacher, if you develop a relationship with them and you have great trust, that is excellent, but that never means we turn the critical brain off. So we have great trust and great doubt. And that's what I have to say about faith in Zen practice. Thank you.